A game and a half in 8 minutes. Cost that dude a chance to be the Colts quarterback in 2022. That shows you how much of an impact those shit plays had that he made last year. Worst 8 minutes of football I've ever seen by a quarterback. Worst ever. The stretch run down the line against the Raiders, the game was close and the game was really fought hard. The Jaguar game was a complete disaster. You got to win that. Remember that Monday I came out and I said, you got to win that game, kid. You just have to win that game. National Football Show. We are now officially 8 days from the start of training camp for your favorite football team. Football is here, folks. Front and center. This is the final buildup week to your respected teams' potential chances this year at doing something or maybe not doing anything. 90 guys will show up to training camp. Hell, some of the rookies are showing up on Monday. I think the Bills rookies show up Monday. I know some of the teams that are playing in the Hall of Fame game this year are getting a chance to show up over the weekend. Rookies, free agents are showing up to respected football teams this weekend and getting ready for the upcoming NFL season. 8 days away. Tomorrow will be officially a week. I cannot wait to see how this whole thing shakes out. I can't wait to see the story in Philly. I can't wait to see what happens in Tampa. I can't wait to see what the decision is going to be in Cleveland. What happens in Green Bay? Can the Rams repeat? Can Joe Burrow do it again? There's some of the best storylines in NFL history this year. I cannot wait. Records that stood for generations may be broken as well, man. So I cannot wait. We are here. Welcome aboard. Please hit the like button. Don't forget Gary Cobb from Fox 29 in Philadelphia in hour number 2, as he always does. He sits on his perch on hour number 2 at 4:30 Eastern time. Seth Joyner's going to join us this week. Mario Cristobal's going to join us this week. We got a boatload of people. Hollis Thomas is going to step in with us this week as we're getting ready for training camp. Couple things in this hour we're going to do. We've been going through the schedule, and we've been previewing the teams that the Eagles are going to be playing. And we're going to be doing the Washington Commanders today. Wrote down a lot of stuff about this football team. Obviously, Turner now the offensive coordinator, Scott Turner. Jack Del Rio was able to weather the storm with some of the things that he said about the January 6th case that was going on in Washington at the time. So it looks like he's still going to remain as defensive coordinator in Washington. He's a fine coach. That's good. The coaching staff in Washington's great. Obviously, the big acquisition was Carson Wentz this past offseason. So we're going to talk Washington. Also, we are going to play a game. It's called, Is Jalen Better Than? And we're going to do that, and I'll explain more. We'll do that at the bottom of the hour here. I saw a lot of people on Twitter going back and forth with me about really the upcoming season and Jalen Hurts. And, you know, somebody was asked, Silz, why all the conversation on the quarterback? Well, your whole season revolves around the quarterback. He's the focal point of this football team this year. Plain and simple. Jesse, Lube, Ryan, Michael, Flex, appreciate you coming aboard. Flex says Rams not repeating. I agree. I don't think the Rams – do you think the Rams look like a repeat team? Do you think they look like that? I don't know, man. Les Snead has done such a great job building that football team. Jay, what's up, brother? Appreciate you coming in. What happened to Matt Nagy? What's up, Rob? Good morning, Sydney. Appreciate you coming aboard, man. Thank you so much. Good morning, Big Silz. Furniture removals. You should see the Big Silz man cave right now. I'm not happy about it. Okay? Things are all over the place. I can't find anything. Anytime things get moved, I have a heart attack. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, I'm like the guy in Rain Man. All right? I'm like the guy in Rain Man. Okay? Oh, no, please. No. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. Oh, got his hands all. Dude, I feel like Rain Man. Okay? Like, I can't find anything. I can't see anything. Kind of throws me off too. I mean, I hate that, man, when anybody touches my stuff. Hey, Mike, the Bobby Wagner joining the Rams. Dude, it is such a great organization. Les Snead does such a great job. Hey, Bob, appreciate you coming aboard. Kyle, thanks a lot, man. Can't wait to hear the list. Kyle says, well, I got a boatload of lists, I think, today. Okay? Let's see, 1, 2. I don't know if they're lists, maybe 2 lists. Okay? I got you Monday. Kmart sucks. Yeah, hey, man. I do like that movie, too. All right. So as promised, I thought we would go through the games that the Eagles are going to be playing. We talked about the Lions and the Vikings already. Your favorite commander, Carson Wentz and his Washington Commanders, are the next team up. And that'll be in week 3. That'll be at FedEx in Landover, Maryland. Talk about one of the shitholes of America to put a football team. And now they want to move it closer to RFK. Really? What gave that away? You thought you'd move it into the suburbs, and it's absolutely been the worst stadium place in the history of the National Football League. Honestly, they get nobody. You can go on StubHub and go to a Washington football game for $30. I mean, nobody goes to those games. They may be this year, though, because I think they're going to have a chance to be pretty good. I do. I work for Kmart. They did suck. Michael, appreciate it. Hey, man, it's a great store, man. We go there all the time. Plus, we like Target, too. All right. Let's dive into the Washington Commanders. How good do you think this football team is going to be this year? And what kind of challenge do you think it's going to be for the Philadelphia Eagles this year? Obviously, the big move. Some cliff notes here. Obviously, the big move is Carson Wentz. Can I make a prediction to you? Here's my prediction on Carson Wentz for the 2000. I was kind of kidding last week, but here's my prediction on Carson Wentz for 2022. Here's what I think he does. 3,982 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 9 picks. I think he goes back to being Carson Wentz. I'm going to make a point to you, and you guys tell me if you think that. I don't know, man. I'm going to throw some numbers at you here. Let me go over to this. And I'm going to tell you why I say he throws for 33 touchdowns and 9 picks and 3,982 yards. Let me make a point to you on something here. Here's Carson Wentz's passer rating numbers since 2016, when he came into the league. And you tell me if you think these are bad numbers. First year in the league, 2016, 79-3 rookie season, to be expected. 2017, 101.9, exceptional. 2018, 102.2, even better, exceptional. So 2017 and 2018, Carson Wentz had a 101.9 and then in 18, a 102.2 quarterback rating. There's far from anything wrong with those numbers. 2019, 93-1, starting to see a decrease. Obviously, the 2020 season was a train wreck. Worst in his career, 72.8. And last year, 94.6. Third best numbers in his 6 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL. So really, he's pretty much put up really great quarterback rating numbers. 101.9, 102.2, 93-1, 72-8 in 2020 was a train wreck for the entire organization. And last year, 94-6. Obviously going to another football team. Carson Wentz, if you look at the numbers, it's funny. I can watch games with him and do this. Jesus criminy. You need a blindfold to watch some of the plays that he has. A blindfold. But then you look at the end of the year and you're like, how is this possible? Even last year's numbers, I thought were real good. But then you watch the Titan 8 minutes, and then you watch the entire Jaguar game, and really even the second half of the Raider game the week previous, and you go like this. Damn, dude. 3 games hosed you last year from being the starting quarterback in Indianapolis still. 3 games. Actually, a game and a half in 8 minutes. Cost that dude a chance to be the Colts quarterback in 2022. That shows you how much of an impact those shit plays had that he made last year. Worst 8 minutes of football I've ever seen by a quarterback. Worst ever. The stretch run down the line against the Raiders, the game was close and the game was really fought hard. The Jaguar game was a complete disaster. You got to win that. Remember at Monday I came out and I said, you got to win that game, kid. You just have to win that game. Noodle Arm Hurts is in the house. Carson isn't a bad quarterback. He's not. Look at the numbers. They prove it. They beat a bunch of winning teams last year, too. A. Thomas says Wentz always going to have stats, just always makes bonehead decisions. Thomas, I think you're dead on. Wentz always going to have stats, just going to have those kind of boneheads. Wentz is like Favre. Boy, I tell you something, Lou. I have made that comparison. He's a slightly lesser talented Brett Favre. That is really a great comment, and you're correct. I agree 100%. But here, let me throw this at you here. And we're talking about the Game 3 opponent, the Washington Commanders here. It's why we're talking Wentz here. I think that Terry McLaurin is going to have 1,300-plus yards this year. This is the best wide receiving core that he has had in his entire professional quarterbacking career in the NFL, Carson Wentz. You add the kid Dotson from Penn State. Get this. Terry McLaurin has averaged 67.2 yards a game with quarterbacks that could not start anywhere in the NFL. Tyler Heineke and some of these other guys, Dwayne Haskins, God rest his soul, these guys were bums. Absolute bums. And he was still producing numbers. Still producing numbers. I think that number is going to shoot up to over 100. I think this kid's going to have a great year. This may be the best offensive line and wide receiving core that Wentz has ever had. Now, I'll take that back. The 17 Eagle O-line was tremendous. This is second best. Okay? This is the second best. Now you're tripping, Silz? On what? The O-line Eagles, yes. 2017 O-line was great. The 2020 line was a mash unit. Okay? The O-line, hey, I think it's a much improved team. Lou goes, isn't it weird that Wentz is everything Hurts isn't and vice versa? Yeah, but get this. I want ability. I love the intangibles, but I'm sick of those intangibles. Intangibles without the ability don't win you games. You got to have ability. Those intangibles mean nothing. Hey, he's a good guy, shows up to work, works hard. Is he good? Not really. Hey, yeah, I think so, Eagle. I think Terry McLaurin's going to go over 1,300 yards this year. Michael says, Silz, Washington winning the division? No, I've already made the prediction. The Eagles are winning the division. I've already given you that. Absolutely not. You better win the division. You got the best roster. Again, we're talking about the Washington Commanders here. On defense, this kid Cole Holcomb, who had 142 tackles last year, my opinion, I believe that was like 10th in the NFL. I think this guy could lead the National Football League in tackles. He's a machine. Plus, with that D-line he has in front of him, I think the Washington Commanders have the best defense in the division, and that includes the Philadelphia Eagles. You're not better than Washington. You're not. Washington's defense is better than Philadelphia's defense. Okay? I think they really did a nice job at putting a coaching staff together. I like Scott Turner as the OC. Jack Del Rio, if he can keep his damn politics to himself and not alienate a locker room, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. He's proven it everywhere he's gone. So they got a good coaching staff, and they better have a good coaching staff because they have a horrific front office. I love this kid, Johan Dotson, the kid they got from Penn State. And I think the defense is stacked this year. I think Washington is going to threaten the Cowboys and the Eagles to win that division. I think those three teams are going to be right around the same group of numbers of wins this year. I think Washington can win between 9 and 10 games, Dallas 9 and 10, and the Philadelphia Eagles between 9 and 10. I think they're going to be right there. Don't go to sleep on them. And by the way, the best coached team in the division is Ron Rivera. I'd rather have Ron Rivera than Mike McCarthy or Nick Sirianni or Brian Daboll. I don't know anything about Brian Daboll as an NFL head coach yet. Sydney says Eagles D is still developing. Well, don't you think Washington's is too? Plus you get Chase Young back. You know, you got kind of a version of Chase Young, but not really. Hassan Reddick is a good player. He's not Chase Young, though. Jonathan Allen in the middle, too. Their front seven is formidable. Easy money. There is no way. I'll tell you this. I think Washington's defense underachieved. I'll give you that. But talent-wise, ratings-wise, there is absolutely no way that Philadelphia has a better defense than Washington does. I do not. Now, give me Nick. So you'll take Nick Sirianni over Ron Rivera, okay? Not me, okay? Not me. Ron's actually gotten a team to a Super Bowl. And the Carolina Panthers to boot, okay? Heck of a defensive coordinator, too. Nate says Chase Young has lost his step in his third year. Okay. What has Ron done since the Super Bowl? Well, he won the division 2 years ago coming over to Washington. That's what he did. First year in Washington, he won the division. I don't know. So he's won a division and two different divisions in the NFC. Okay. What has he done? Well, he's won. Wentz plays like a kid who is still trying to prove he belongs in the league rather than knowing he belongs. Bob, I think it's more this. He's got to trust more people around him. There's a reason you pay wide receivers giant money and running backs giant money. He's got to believe more in his guys. I don't think he has enough trust in his players. And that hero ball thing, I agree. I agree with you guys. I think the hero ball is because, remember something. How many people do you think he trusted at North Dakota State? None? How many guys do you think he actually went into football games going, hey, I can lean on this guy? That's what happens when you go to a smaller division player because they feel they have to do all that. Joe Burrow plays at LSU. Shit, he's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Jamar Chase. He's got all these superstar wide receivers and defensive guys, running backs, offensive linemen, and he leans on them. Look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones has all these great players, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams, all those players, Devontae Smith. He's got all those players. And Mac Jones leans on them because he trusts them. Carson Wentz plays at North Dakota State. Who's he trusting? That's where you get a little bit of that hero ball from. And Ron's got to beat that out of him, in my opinion. Silz, do you think if Wentz doesn't win the East, he'll be a journeyman? I do not, depending on how he plays. And I think he's going to play well this year. I do. I think he's going to play well. Hurts is who he leaned on for years. I agreed. And that's why Hurts had really great numbers. Ron is overrated. I'll take Nick. What's Nick done? Hey, Ray, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming aboard. Bradbury made the Pro Bowl last year. No, he didn't. He made the Pro Bowl 2 years ago. Not true. Our defense is going to be better than Washington. We shall see. We shall see. We shall. Washington doesn't have two legit corners like Philly. I think they got better linebackers, and they got a better pass rusher. And their two defensive tackles in the middle are as formidable or better than Philly's. Quite frankly, I think Fletcher Cox shouldn't be on the team. He was not productive last year and overpaid. Sorry to have you hear that, but it's fact. These guys are looking at a player right now at 14-4 who's overpaid and underproducing. Does he have a comeback year? Hoping. So is Philly hoping. Didn't we sweep them last year? Yeah. With Tyler Heineke and the COVID game. Yes. I had a stat. I want to throw something at you. Here's one. In Jalen Hurts' 7 ball games versus NFC East opponents that he has started, what do you think his numbers look like? Actually, 8 days, brother. What do you think Hurts' numbers versus the NFC East look like? What do you think? There's 7 games, by the way, he's played and started. I looked him up. Good afternoon, Mike. So many defensive changes makes for exciting times ahead. As long as they know what they're being asked to do. John Lynch told me, you never really get a chance to see a guy in him understanding what's being asked of him until you get him in a second year with the club. First year, sometimes you're still being asked, but then again, it's a new system, so we'll see. Dank. Oh, no. Buzico's not good, I bet. I'm just asking you what Jalen Hurts' numbers are against the NFC East. Michael, I'm going to get into playing some fantasy this year. No, he's actually 3-4, Mike. As a starter, he's 3-4. Okay? He's averaged 30 attempts, 17 completions for 225 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions versus the NFC least. Actually, do you know what his best numbers are against? The Cowboys, because they're empty calorie. I think he's thrown for over 300 yards a game in the 2 games he started against Dallas. Okay? Now, they were annihilated, and he didn't start into 51, whatever that thing was last year at the end of the season. He didn't start in that game. We'll do some fantasy with you guys. We'll create a league. We'll do something like that. Not good in the division. We got to get back to that. That's right, Big Pickin'. That's why I bring this up. Dak Prescott has feasted. He has feasted on the NFC East. Has Dak ever lost to Washington? I mean, surely he's lost to the Eagles, right? Dak's lost to the Eagles? As a starter, has Dak lost? I don't know if he's lost to Washington. I mean, the Giant game, I think he got beat when he started when they got hurt. How many times has the Eagles beat Dak Prescott? Booza once, is it? Gaming, we'll do all that as we get closer to the NFL regular season. We'll do something like that. Of course, you're all going to play. Anybody who's involved with us. I think that's a great idea, Xander, that we have a JAKIB Sports Media Fantasy Football League. I think we get everybody involved in it, man. Do some jerseys and shit like that. Xander, JAKIB Sports, we should have a fantasy football league where everybody's playing against each other's shows. How you like that? I think that's a great idea. James, once? Eagles beat Dak once? Dak has a 25-6 record against the NFC East. Randall, look, that's the point what I'm making here. Jalen's got to start dominating the East. Can't split with those sorry-ass Giants as they're rebuilding. You can't have a game like you did last year against the Giants. Okay? You can't. Okay? You can't. Nope, we beat them twice. Prescott owns the East. The Eagles swept the Cowboys in 17. We beat them once in 18, and we won the division last week in 19 with Wentz and guys from Walmart. We owned this division for so many years. We got to get it back. Absolutely. So I wanted to take a look at those numbers that Carson or Jalen Hurts has versus the NFC East. 3-4, 17-30 for 225 yards per game passing, 6 touchdowns and 9 picks. Must improve. Must improve. And that leads me to my topic here. I tweeted this out, and I want to hear you guys. By the way, that's Washington. I think Washington's a pretty good football team. Okay? Now they just got to put the wins and losses together here to see if they can be productive this coming season. Okay? All right. Let me get this. It's now official list time. Actually, I want to be able to do this on the other side. Xander, I'm going to take a time out here because I want to do this on the other side. It's a game we're going to play. Is Jalen better? I'm going to explain more. I've got every NFL quarterback written down here and every football team. Hit the like button. We're going to do this on the other side. I'll explain more here. Big Silz for Morgan & Morgan, where the fee is free. Listen, guys, if you're hurt or injured on the job, finding an attorney is one of the most important things that you can do for your family and fair compensation if you've been hurt or injured on the job. And for the people, it is not a slogan. This is who they are with their 800 attorneys strong across the country. They're the biggest law firm in America, making sure they protect you. They will not be bullied in a courtroom. There's no such thing as a fender bender when you go to Morgan & Morgan. Call them at 800-512-1600. That's 800-512-1600. The call is free. The consultation's free. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. 800-512-1600. And when you call Morgan & Morgan, do me a favor, tell them Big Silz sent you.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When you're hit from behind in a car crash, the insurance company may try to say, you can't possibly be hurt. It was only a few miles an hour. It's simply not true. You see, here's the thing. Getting hit at 10 miles per hour is like falling off of this. 15 miles per hour, like this. And only 25 miles per hour, this. Injured, dial pound law. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.